A lot of times we take for granted definitions. We take for granted that we understand how things are defined scripturally and how the Father understands them and how we're supposed to understand them. And I think we've come to learn over the last few years at least, if you've been following this ministry at all, that we probably have not had a lot of our definitions correct. And so we've been redefining terms like salvation and grace and fear and all kinds of things that we didn't understand maybe correctly. And so worship, believe it or not, I think is another one of those ones that's going to take a whole reset. It's going to take a whole reset. I don't think you're going to be upset with me about it, but we get so used to using a word a certain way that it becomes sort of entrained and ingrained in us that, you know, it's going to be hard to break the habit if we're going to break the habit at all. One of the things I used to tell everybody, and when I've asked people what they think worship is, the alternative is people will say it's obedience. And that's what I have always taught, that worship is obedience, and I came to find out I was wrong also. And when they saw him, they worshiped him, they bowed down to him, but some doubted. And the ones that doubted couldn't truly worship. Because you can't worship if you doubt. Worship is a full giving of yourself. You have this great respect and honor that goes down to the bone, goes down to the marrow, this homage that you pay publicly. If you have doubt, you're not going to do it. Or if you're doing it, you're going to be doing it mechanically in hypocrisy. There are many, many that bowed and worshiped to a king, but in the meantime, they were planning plots to stab him in the back. That's not worship, that's just bowing down. It's a mechanical thing. Most of the time, people focus on trying to figure out what spirit and truth mean, and they forget about the idea of worship. And that he's seeking such to worship him. He's actually seeking such to worship him. And so we had to find out what is this worship? What does it mean? And when we came to find out, using the law of first mention, meaning that when something is first mentioned, it usually gives you a clarity onto what the word means and how it's used and what it's trying to tell you, that in Matthew 2, we have the Magi coming to find Yeshua, and then they bow or worshipped him. And we came to find out that the word in the Greek was proskuneo, and it meant to fawn over or crouch, to prostrate oneself in homage, to do reference, to adore. One of the things that we want to make sure we're doing is getting the proper framework and context for where the word worship is being used. Remember, last time we would have missed, if we were just reading the part about worship, the connection to the tzitzit. And the connection between healing and the tzitzit. Because you had Yeshua being asked to heal someone, and the person came and worshiped him or bowed down and worshiped him. And then we have him showing up and actually healing the person, but in between there was the tzitzit. And if you hadn't read the whole thing through, you could have missed the connection. I know that it's not going to make everybody happy to hear this, but worthy is a title or a acclamation that you receive because you did something. It's earned. Oh, now, Rabbi, you're talking about earning salvation. Let's not confuse salvation and reward. So let's understand the importance of worship and what it really means. It is to have a great respect, honor, homage, and submission, and so you're bowing down on your face and humbling yourself before the one that you worship.